Okay, what is up, my tubers? We actually have a straight to YouTube video here. This is Phyrexia All Will Be One, my first recorded draft of this format. Thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe. We just finished streaming today and did a few drafts on this early access account. So you'll notice I have infinite gems and gold. Again, this is a sponsored account from Wizards, a one-day long event. We're going to jump right into the draft because there are going to be a bunch of cards that I have to go through. I'm going to try to go through as many of these cards as I can, but it's going to be hard to go through them all. So I still don't know what everything does. There are a bunch of these lands with a bunch of oil counter abilities. This one, I mean, you don't want to take them super early in my opinion. A couple of good value cards. So like, again, I'm not going to have much time to go over all these cards, and I apologize. I'll do my best to hover over them. I'm going to take this incubation sack. I've never seen this before. 1 mana, enters with 3 oil counters, pay 4 and tap, remove, make a 3/3, seems good enough. But there are a lot of good strategies in the format that I've found out so far through my few drafts that I've done. Toxic is a very big thing, so you can infect people out. A lot of the times, though, and this showcased on a card like Sinew Dancer, you will just want to get the opponent to 3 or more poison counters, and then a bunch of the cards in the format get a lot better. So instead of tapping for 4 mana, this card would tap for 1 mana. Very, very good ability. We got past a Mind Splice Apparatus. At the beginning of your upkeep, put an oil counter on instant sorceries. So this is more like a constructed weird card, but it does have synergy with some oil counter stuff. Serum Snare has been really good. Bounce a non-land permanent, and if it had mana value 3 or less, you get to proliferate. The beginning of each player's upkeep deals 2 damage to that player unless they control 2 or more basic lands. That seems like a nice little aggro red card. I'll take the Serum Snare here. I'm going to apologize a lot for not being able to go through all the cards, but I'm going to note the ones that I think are the best from what we've seen. So a 2 mana 3/1 Toxic 2. The thing about toxic creatures is it's not like Infect. They don't deal poison equal to, or they don't give poison equal to their power. They give poison equal to the number of toxic. So this card specifically would give 2 poison counters, but also deal 3 damage, if that makes sense. We have like an Unnatural Restoration here. Return a permanent from your graveyard to your hand. Proliferate's pretty good. 4 mana 6/6 ETB. Sack a creature unless an opponent has 3 or more poison counters. So you can tell that type of synergy here. A lot of cards that proliferate. You're going to see a ton of cards with proliferate. You're also going to see a lot of cards that when they die or when something happens, you make a 1/1 with Toxic 1 and the creature itself cannot block. I'm gonna just take the, I guess, Prism here because I have no idea. No, I'll take the 3/1. Maybe we'll try to infect people out if we can get a good infect strategy going on. There are a lot of good cheap red burn spells in this format. There's a 1 mana deal 2, or it deals 4 if it's a toxic creature. There's also Volt Charge, which is a reprint. What is this one? 2 mana 2/1 lifelink. Whenever another artifact enters the battlefield in your control, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. That seems okay. This is a weird trick that gives a creature flying and Toxic 1 for the turn. Kind of a weird flashy tap down effect. There's a cycle of all of these Skull Bombs, and the majority of them are pretty good. They all cycle for 1, and then they have an additional ability that you can pay for some colors. This one returns a creature and draws a card. I think I'm just going to take the Dune Mover here. It's a 2 mana 2/1 that can draw you a land on the following turn, a forced land. So maybe we just lean into the toxic theme as we get like a prologue to Phyrexia here. Each opponent gets a poison counter, draw a card. Blue has a ton of good proliferate effects. There are a bunch of good equipment in this format as well. And I'll note right here, 4 Mirrodin. I don't necessarily like that keyword, but 4 Mirrodin is an ability on a lot of the equipment in the format that as it enters, you equip the equipment to a 2/2 red rebel. So anything that has 4 Mirrodin comes with a creature attached. Notably, there is an Indoctrination Attendant here. Actually, you know what? I've seen a really good green-white toxic deck. I might try to just force that, because I think in the early stages of a format, just forcing a specific like good color pair is totally reasonable, especially when you have no idea what you're doing. There's a cycle of all of these creatures that enter with oil counters and get power and toughness equal to the oil counters and get pumped up from another ability. I don't think the Necrosquito is the best among them. Let's see here. Here's another one of the Skull Bombs. This one's the blue one. It's like a Tolarian Geyser effect. That seems pretty good. 2/4 Toxic 2 with Menace is pretty strong. I guess we can take the Skull Bomb, though. Maybe we can still be in blue. So, it's a crazy format. From what I've experienced in this best of one draft format so far, it is pretty fast, or it can be pretty darn fast. I've died on like turn 5 or 6 to Toxic so far, but that was with like the nut draw from my opponent. So something like Titanic Growth doesn't actually become as good with the Toxic creatures, because remember, they get poisoned based on the Toxic level and not on the power of the creature. 2/2 for 2. Return it from your graveyard to the battlefield. Tap, you lose 1 life. Activate when opponent has 3 or more poison counters. So like a good recursive card. 1/1 Flying Vigilance that draws a card when you die. Tamiyo's Logbook seems like good value. Sholdred's Edict. Maybe black is open here, but we are getting another Stalker, 8th pick. Another Sinew Dancer too. The Dancer's really, really solid, but I think we're gonna prioritize the Toxic creatures instead. I don't know if I was supposed to take the Incubation Sac, pick one. So it's 5 mana for the first 3/3. It's 9 mana for 2 3/3s. 13 mana for 3 3/3s, but it's all split up, so that's kind of interesting. Let's see. 1/3 reach that proliferates if you sacrifice it. Seems like filler. We could try to go like green-black infect too. Like we've seen a lot of good green or black cards go around. Here's one. You draw 2 cards, lose 2 life. Each opponent gets a poison counter. All right, I'm gonna start taking the black cards, I guess. Green-black infect was the classic infect archetype back in the old format. As we get another Sinew Dancer. Okay. Here's one of the creatures that's good with the equipment theme. Red-white is the equipment theme. There's a sphere land of each color that just ETBs tapped, adds one of those colors, and then you can sack later to draw a card. So another good one in the format. This is for more of the artifact equipment theme. 2/4 Vigilance that gets +2/+0 as long as you control 2 or more artifacts. Notably, though, any of those creatures, I don't have any of them right now. Oh, no, I do. Remember, the mites that a lot of the cards produce are artifacts as well. Okay, just some random creatures here. Wheeling, like the Gold Warden's Helm. I wouldn't want to play this in my Infected or my Toxic deck, for example. ETB Scry 2, whenever another artifact enters, you can make it a 4/4. What is this? Blade of Shared Souls. 3 mana, so it is an equipment. Whenever it becomes attached to a creature, for as long as it remains attached, you may have that creature become a copy of another target creature you control. Okay, that is pretty sweet. Huh. Tainted Observer, 2/3 Flying Toxic 1. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield in your control, you may pay 2 if you do proliferate. That is fantastic. First time seeing this one. I've seen a lot of people say that this is the best green common in the format, the Contagious Vorak. 3 mana, 3/3. ETB, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You can put a land from among them into your hand, put the rest on the bottom in random order. If you didn't put a card in your hand, you get to proliferate. That is pretty good. I feel like I want to take this Tainted Observer instead of going for the Blade of Shared Souls. But let's try the Blade since it's rare. So 3 mana, 2/2. And that the creature can ETB as a creature the very first time or whenever you equip. This is a Sylvok Battle Chair. 6 mana, 6/6 Trampler that equips for 7. That's pretty good. Oh, here's that burn spell I was talking about. 1 red, 2 damage to a creature. If that creature was toxic, 4 damage instead. So Hexgold Slash is going to be one of the better cheap removal spells in the format. Let's see, Plague Nurse, 4 mana, 3/4 Toxic 2. Each other creature you control with Toxic gains Toxic 1 until end of, so it adds an additional Toxic. 3 mana, 2/3 Toxic. Oh, that's pretty good as well. you have enough artifacts to make that a thing. Oh man, I don't know what I'm doing here. I guess I'll just take the battle chair. Armored Scrap Gorger, 0/3 for 2. Gets +3/+0 as long as it has 3 or more oil counters. Tap it, add a mana. Whenever it becomes tapped, exile a card from a graveyard, put an oil counter on it. That seems quite nice. Oh, this also seems really good. Wow, Mere Convert. 2 mana, 2/1, Toxic 1, pay 2 life. In fact, I'd rather have the colorless Toxic producer than the non-toxic card. 3 mana, 1/3, Death Touch, Toxic 1. There's another Skull Bomb here. Like I said, I'm trying to lean into the Toxic. This is just a good card. 2 mana, 3/2. You can blow up an artifact, enchantment, or you can proliferate by sacrificing it and paying 1. Here's the red version of the oil counter creature. This one is aggressive, but it's only got 1 toughness. Oh, Serum Core Chimera is another card that I've had some crazy experience with. This card is very good. 2/4 flyer for 4. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you put an oil counter on it, and then you can remove 3 oil counters during your turn at sorcery speed to draw a card and then you can discard a non-land card and deal 3 damage to a creature or planeswalker. So this one's real good. We have a nice pack here, though. Another 3/1 Toxic 2, a Punch Effect. Experimental Augury is good. I think I'm just going to keep taking these Toxic 2 creatures, though. Nice, and this is exactly what we're looking for. All of these cheap Toxic creatures and, like, tempo cards that also add proliferation. Yeah, I think we're gonna commit to being blue-green for sure here at this point. Maybe you can even like splash a little bit of black, because we've seen a lot of good black. Like, we don't need a random 5/5. Remove an oil counter from it, target creature. Like, this doesn't seem that good to me. But that has synergy with oil counters. Norn's Wellspring. Whenever a creature you control dies, scry 1, put an oil counter on it. Remove 2 oil counters, draw a card. It's like, okay. I guess we'd rather have the green Skull Bomb here. Gives a creature +3/+3 and trample, sure. I guess the Prowler might make sense in our deck. Tap down a creature, allow us to get in for a little more toxic. We have 5 toxic creatures on turn 2. That's kind of good. This is a weird looter with artifacts. We have 7 artifacts right now. Let's see, this is add 1 mana. Whenever it becomes tapped, each opponent who has 3 or more poisonous encounters loses 1 life. I don't think we're going to be running that. 4 mana, 2/5, that when it enters, you can tap it to proliferate. Wow, that slash going 10th pick is nuts. I mean, I can't take that, though. We're full on the proliferate theme. Nice. Another Spellbomb Wheel is nice, or Skull Bomb Wheel. Sure. Yeah, our deck is just like cheap toxic creatures and tempo effects. I like it. Seems fun. So there's a toxic theme, there's an equipment theme, there's like some weird artifact theme, there's some graveyard shenanigans. So far it seems like this format has a lot going for it. There's like oil synergies, there's proliferate synergies. Though I will say, whenever a new format comes out, it's always going to feel nice and fresh and spicy. Just because it's new, you know? Alright, pack 3. Oh, Tyvar Jubilant Brawler. You may activate abilities of creatures you control as though they had haste, untap up to 1 creature, mill 3 cards, then you may return a creature with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Oh, that's not even that good. Activate abilities of creatures you control as though they had haste. Yeah, that's not even that good. What is this thing? 2/1 flying toxic one. When you proliferate, return it from your graveyard to your hand. That card is very good. Sheesh. There's another Serum Core Chimera here. There is a Lattice Blade Mantis. It's a decent one. It's really hard to block early. If anything, I'd rather splash this Void Mage hybrid. Graz Unstoppable Juggernaut. 8 mana, 7/5. Juggernauts you control attack each combat if able. They can't be blocked by walls. Other creatures you control... Oh, it just turns everything into a Juggernaut? Alright, that's really cool. But, that being said, we have this Tainted Observer. We did pass one of these earlier, and this is like perfect for our deck. 2/3 flying toxic one with extra proliferate value is kind of nuts. Mesmerizing Dose would be good. 3 mana lockdown of a creature that proliferates. 5 mana 4/4 haste toxic 3 is also fantastic. We're hoping to wheel something there. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. Put up to 2 lands from among them onto the battlefield tapped, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. If you put 2 or fewer lands on the battlefield this way, proliferate a number of times equal to the difference. That's not very good, but it's clever. We do have one of those 4/4s haste toxic 3 that we were looking for. Geth. This is like the 5th Geth I've seen in my 3 or 4 drafts. Doesn't seem that great, but it's interesting. I do want to note there is an Arrest at common at 2 mana in this format that can target artifacts or planeswalkers in addition to creatures. So Planet Disruption, very good removal spell if you can end up in white. Necrogen Rot Priest, 1/5 toxic 2. Whenever a creature you control with toxic deals combat damage to a player, that player gets an additional poison counter. And then this can give a creature with toxic death touch until end of turn. Wow. I mean, we have a Distorted Curiosity here, which is really good. But man, we could have had a really spicy, like Sultai-ish toxic deck. If I had better fixing, I think I would go for it. But we have a good card draw effect here, so that's spicy. Okay, there's another Unnatural Restoration. We didn't take any of them earlier. What does this one do? Destroy an artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying if that permanent's value is 3 or less proliferate. That's not bad. I think we'd rather have this here, especially with all of our skull bombs and stuff. Yeah. Prologue to Phyrexia. Good. We actually didn't have any of these, and this is an easy way to give the opponent a poison counter without needing to attack, and then you can just start proliferating from there. So let's double check our poison, or rather infect, or toxic, or whatever you want to call it, cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Man, what a pack. I'm going to just take another Prologue to Phyrexia here, but Ribskiff solid, 4/4 toxic 2 draw card. Is that better? Actually, that's really good in our deck. What am I talking about? Vivisurgeon's Insight, draw 3, proliferate for 5 is great too. Augury's pretty good. 2 mana, look at the top 3, put one of them in your hand and the rest on your bottom. Proliferate's nice. Chimera Wheeling. Yeah, I mean, I guess red was super open. We saw that one red burn spell go around super late too, didn't we? Sheesh. That's gross. 5 mana, 3/4. When it enters, you gain 3. Then if you control a permanent with an oil counter, draw a card. I don't think we have many oil counters in this deck. Yeah, very few. I'm going to take the Prowler for tap down. Well, there's an oil counter card. We're not running that, though. 6/5 reach trample, can't be blocked by creatures with flying. So it's just a big fatty in our deck. Oh, there's another Skull Bomb, too. I'll take that. How many Skull Bombs is too many Skull Bombs? I don't know, but that's my 3rd blue one. Okay. 1, 3. If this had Toxic itself, it'd be good, but it's just a bad proliferator. Alright. Oddly, I didn't end up with any of those lands that sacrifice and draw a card, which I'm usually tending to do. I'm wondering if I even want this Sylvok Battleshare in the deck. But I guess I probably don't need 3 Skull Bombs. Or maybe the blue Skull Bomb's better than the green Skull Bomb here. Probably fine. And remember, these just cycle themselves anyway, so they're never bad. Alright, blue-green infect here for the tubers. Let's go a little bit heavier green, it looks like. Oh, blue, it says, is heavier. I have double green, though. And we have more green early game plays than blue. I guess the spell bombs want blue. I mean, either way, our mana is going to be good. We don't have rough requirements. So again, this is the early access event. This is only up for a day, not open to everybody quite yet. This will be available to the general public starting on Tuesday, February 7th. But this is a nice sneak peek. So if you're going to go to a pre-release this weekend, or whenever you're watching this, at any point, maybe just a regular release event, hopefully this can give you some idea of what the format's like. Okay, on to game 1 here of this Phyrexia All Will Be One draft deck. We are on the draw, sadly, but we do have one of our toxic creatures on turn 2. Opponent has a Cacophony Scamp. When it deals combat damage to a player, you may sack it. If you do, proliferate. When it dies, deals damage equal to its power to any target. Okay, well that's extremely annoying versus my 1 toughness creature. We drew our blue spell bomb. So we're going to play out the Stalker next turn. If they attack, we'll just have to block. Otherwise, we can give them too much value. I would guess if they're red-white, they're on the equipment plan, where the Scamp's very good. Yeah, like the Barbed Batterfist, for example. One of those 4 Mirrodin equipments. So it's a 2/2, and then the equipped creature gets +1, +1, -1. This is probably not a great matchup for us. I guess the Skull Bomb is good versus the token. Then we can restoration it back. Yep, good attack. If I don't block the Scamp, again, it can just sacrifice itself anyways. Mandible Justiciar. Yeah, we saw that. Alright, let's go ahead and just bounce. I won't get any proliferate value, but a 2/5 versus red-white looks like it's going to be okay here. Jor Kadeen, first Gold Warden. When it attacks, it gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of equipped creatures you control. Then if its power is 4 or greater, draw a card. That seems gross. I would not like to tap it, thank you. So this attacks as a 4/2 right now. Looks like they're going to go aggro, and they do get to draw a card here. Yeesh. Where are my bounces? I need those serum cards. So the Canker Bloom can destroy either their equipment or it can destroy the enchantment that's on my Anatomist. 4/5 haste. 4/5 that enters with 2 oil counters. You can remove an oil counter to give a creature you control haste until end of turn. Oh, they're gonna go all out. Okay. I'm gonna blow up the enchantment. I think we're gonna go eat and trade. I'm gonna go to 3. There's our Serum Snare that we needed earlier. And they might just have a Volt Charge and kill us. If that's the case, so be it. Flyer with 2+ power kills us because of the equipment as well. Nice. There's that Hex Gold Slash I was talking about. And that'll do. Alright. 5/5 Menace Reach. Yeah. So, opponent's draw was great. They were on the play. Not much I could do there. I don't think there's anything in our sideboard that we should bring in for a more aggressive strategies. Like, our curve is very low too, yeah. Okay, good beats. And this has been the case for this format. This is, I think, my 4th draft. The games have been over very quickly, and being on the play has been extremely relevant. Now, on the play versus on the draw is usually not super relevant. It's never more than a couple percentage points, but it has felt like snowballing is pretty easy. So, move on to game 2. Good looking hand. We're on the play this time, so maybe our turn 2 Stalker can add a bunch of Toxic without the opponent adding much interaction. So it looks like they are on red. Prologue to Phyrexia here. Gonna add them a counter and give us a card. That's great. Okay, that might be what we need. Like, just no interaction for a turn. They're already at 2 Infect. We can give them a 3rd and draw a card here. If they just play a random creature, we can bounce it with Skull Bomb. Boo! That's really annoying. They can pay it to... This is a nice card. Ambulatory Edifice. Pay 2 life, and then they kill a creature with 1 toughness. Remember, Skull Bomb is sorcery speed. Oh, yikes. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and cycle this then. Sheesh. Vindictive Flamestoker. And they have a Tyvar. Alright. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put an oil counter on it. 7 mana sack, discard your hand, draw 4. It costs 1 less for each oil counter on it. And then... yeah, Tyvar we saw during the draft. Again, not very exciting. Bad draw. Oh, actually, it's not a good draw because they can just kill it with the ambulatory that we... Let's play out our Tainted Observer. So that's going to be a 3/4, gain 3 life, draw a card. Pretty good. I feel like we just ignore the Tyvar. Attack them for 2. Put them to 4 poison, and then play out our 6/6 Trampler. And continue to flood out. Hmm. So 7 to equip this. But 6 mana, 6/6 baseline, and then a movable equipment is kind of strong. I'm glad I bounced their 3/2 earlier. What is this? Oh, they have the fight effect? They're casting this as sorcery speed, so they're going to kill my 6/6 with the punch. Yeah. And then they can hit me for 7? Holy moly. I guess I should just kill the Planeswalker at this point. We're gonna die to their Vindictive Flamestoker drawing a bunch of cards. They have Incubation Sac. That's fine. They can make a 3/3. Hit me for 4 here. Okay. Are you joking? This is really, really sad. Alright, well, that's Magic, baby. Sometimes you draw 10 lands and 5 or 6 spells. It's gonna go feel real bad if we just go 0-3 this draft. I will block if you attack. Sure. So 4 damage effect. Another one of those burn spells for 1, maybe? No, they would have attacked with the 3/4 as well. What is this? Oh, Nahiri's Sacrifice. Sack a creature, deal damage, divided as you choose among any number based on the creatures. Okay, that's fine. Okay. 4/4 Toxic 3. They can attack with their 3/3 here because they do have that ambulatory in their hand. Oh, it looks like they're not going to if they're making this play. Maybe they're just going to Flame Stoke. I think we just need to get a creature online. Like, we can go Convert plus Suited Up. This is winnable. This is winnable. I'm not going to say we're in a great spot, but this is winnable. Yep, sack it, draw 4. At least the or no, whatever it's called, Ambulatory Edifice is gone. Now I just need to beat the 5 cards in the opponent's hand. Destroy target artifact if you controlled it. Make 3 1/1s? What did that say? Yeah, make 3 1/1s. Jeez, here's a nice 4 Mirrodin card. 5 mana, 4/4 flyer with haste. And then equip gives that creature frickin' haste as well. Oh man, are they? Wait. Can I somehow add 3 points of poison next turn? I need to like chain into other proliferate effects, but I think it is doable. Okay, that's probably not good enough. Too much mana. Yeah. Alright, well, what can you do? Drawing infinite lands is never going to be good. Damn. And who knows, maybe this deck is bad. Maybe, you know, in a couple weeks' time, we come back and we're like, what am I drafting? I don't think this deck is bad, though. He says as he lost every game. Alright, any case. 0-2 right now. Let's see if we can pull off a few wins at the very least. Go on to the next. Alright, on to our third game. We're 0-2. How are we looking here? This hand's actually pretty good. Freshly worked out and showered, so I'm a new man. Ready to not go 0-3 in this format. Terramorphic Expanse. Turn 2 Mirror Convert, looking pretty good. Oh man, this is a really nice curve. Turn 2 Convert. Turn 3 Rib Skiff. It's a 2/1 Toxic that gets a land. Yeah, I like that card. It's a decent common. Speaking of. And they did put a mountain on top. I don't remember being mono blue, or like red or blue green, right? What can we do next turn? 3/2 haste. When it enters the battlefield, put 2 oil counters on a creature or artifact you control. At the beginning of your end step, return it to its owner's hand. On this, you remove 2 counters from it. Okay. So it's going to bounce back to their hand? Sure. Let's see. Well, I have to play one of these out to crew the rib skiff. So I guess I'll just play out the 2/1 so that we can proliferate next turn. Seems fine. 3/3 haste for 4. ETB make a 1/1. Okay. Well, I guess maybe we need to slow down, huh? Go Anatomist and pass. No proliferate, I guess. Just a 2/5 looks pretty good here. Damn, how am I already at freaking 8? I've only used the Mirror Convert for mana once, haven't I? And they hit me for 5, and... oh, I guess 5 and 5. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. 2/3 trample for 3. Whenever it attacks, it gets +X+O, where X is the number of permanents you control with oil counters on them. So they only have 1 permanent with an oil counter on it. That's not bad. That can blow up their artifact and whatnot. Let's see, if I bounce the Cackler with the Spell Bomb, they don't have a great block on the Rib Skiff. Holy crap, come on. They can double block with like the Rabble and the token, but I'm okay with that. I'm also okay with them taking the 4 and the 2. Well, I mean... another instance of way too many lands versus spells here. That's 6 spells and 8 land. Mirex. They can tap the 3 and tap it, make a Phyrexian Might. Okay. Hope we draw something good next turn. Okay, they're going to replay the Sprinter out. Yes. What is this? Guess I'll just trade here and try to bounce here. Sure, that's fine. Okay. So they're going to add more counters. I'm going to take 1 extra poison. We trade off the movers or whatever they're called. That could be good. I mean, it cycles and it adds them another poison counter. Oh, okay. Spell Bomb's also good here. Wow, they are very close to dead, actually, if I bounce the token. I think I have to be a little bit careful, because they have the 3-2 haste in hand. So let's leave back the convert, because we can use the bounce effect here and proliferate. We could actually poison them out this game. It's close. But yeah, I think it's a little bit too risky to attack with the convert there. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, if it has one or more oil counters, put on an oil counter. Creatures you control with oil counters on them get +1/+1. Oh, that card's pretty cool. Okay. So if I block and then bounce the golem, we win, right? Think so? Animate. Am I gonna kill somebody with toxic? Oh my gosh, we did it. We got a toxic win, baby. Woo! Feels good. All right, we're on the board. 1 win, 2 losses, whatever. I'll take it. I would have been very sad if the second ever draft I uploaded of this format on YouTube was going to be an 0-3. All right, let's go. See if we can cobble a few more wins together. Okay, on to game number 4. On the play. Oh, we need 1 land here. I guess this hand's not even that good if we do draw a land. I'm gonna mulligan. Alright, that's a lot better. Holy crap. We're on the play with a turn 2, Toxic 2, and then we have tempo and card draw. Oh, even more tempo. Yeah, this hand is fantastic. So if they have 3 poison counters, this is just a 1 mana draw 2. Ideally here, they don't have a way to interact. They make me sack a creature, darn it. Alright, let's just draw 2 then. Esper, they have a Skull Bomb themselves. We'll go ahead and put a forest on top with our hand, for sure. Damn. If they didn't have a early interactive spell, that 1/3 might have gone the distance. I mean, this Dune Mover does have Toxic itself too, so we might still be able to get in and start proliferating a lot. Like, this is 3 proliferate in my hand right now. And a bit of tempo. I'd be surprised if they wanted to use a removal spell on a 2/1. Maybe they bounce it for the turn. That's fine. I can understand that, sure. I do think I'm actually going to put another land on top here. And the reason is I have double Spell Bomb, so we can go 3 mana with Spell Bomb, bounce a creature, and then 2 mana spell as well. That's fine. They're going to go ahead and get rid of my... Alright, I'm okay with this. In fact, maybe I cycle one of these Spell Bombs off now. They really don't want to take any infect, do they? So I can Canker Bloom the enchantment to get back my toxic creature if I want to. Oh, I wonder if they have another sack effect. No. Huh. Kind of a weird game where these Serum Snares are pretty bad. Excuse me. They must have more white sources in their deck if they're running the white sack land too. I'm not gonna do anything here. Looks like they might have another Edict. Edict's pretty okay versus each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker and gets a poison counter. Okay. Is there any reason I would sack and get the enchantment? I don't think so. They have 6 cards in their hand? They just have more sacrifice effects, I guess? It's a good draw. Okay. I think I will bounce this one to my hand. And then I'm going to play out the Observer. And then we can play the Stalker. I guess the Proliferation doesn't... So I need to attack first. Sure. Opponent just really doesn't want to get any infect, any poison. But they're not doing anything. I'll go ahead and flash this out end of turn. Sure. Yeah, wow, they really are against getting any number of infect. Let's get the Stalker back, I guess. We'll eventually run out of removal spells, I would think. I don't even know if it's right to get the Stalker back anymore, but... Okay, this is pretty funny. So I can have this copy the Chrome Prowler, I guess? Sure. Hey, they finally played something. Okay. Now we can just bounce that. Or tap it. I think we'd rather bounce it, draw a card. Another Augury. So I'm going to go up to 3 poison. They get to look for another card here. I mean, we're very far ahead. We might just kill them next turn. If their plan is more creatures instead of removal. They still have 6 cards in their hand. They must have, like, some double white cards or something. Sure. So they sacrifice the 2/2 here. I guess now we want to look and try to apply more pressure. Yeah, that seems fine. Okay. You know what, man? These Vraska's Falls are super bad versus any creatures that have that might ability. Just too bad for us we didn't have any of those. Looks like that probably should be the game though, right? We can go convert, equip. It copies one of the prowlers. And then it can crew the rib skiff. You can just bounce. Alright, well. They had a lot of removal, but they didn't have any pressure, and so eventually I just drew a bunch of creatures and they couldn't out-removal me. I don't know. Kind of a weird game. Hey, we will take it. Because that puts us solidly into 2 wins. 2-2. No 0-3s. Go, go, go. So just to reiterate, again, this is on the special early access server. Ooh, we're on the play here. Spellbomb into 2-drop toxic creature. Seems good. This is the green one that pumps something? Okay. Looks like we'll go ahead and grab another island here. Got a 6-drop in our hand after all. 2 for 2, and then this is the one that can come back later. Yeah, that's fine. We'll go ahead and do a little tempo out just to get the infect on them, or the poison on them starting now. Because now with the prologue, we can get them to 2. But getting the first infect or whatever poison counter is the most important for us since we have a bunch of proliferate as well, you know? So the question is this worth it now? Spellbomb bounce and get in for another 2 poison. Probably not, but I'm gonna do it anyways. I don't have that many 3 poison matter cards. Damn, all this land kind of sucks. Now I'm wishing I hadn't put a land on top with the Dune Mover, but what are you gonna do? This thing doesn't have or poison itself right now, or toxic or whatever. I'm gonna continuously call toxic, poison, infect, all of the things. Are you kidding, man? Okay, well at least Augury does something here. So now they're gonna get 2 infect, 2 poison on me if they want. We're going to put them up to 4 with this. I think a lot of people are going to play extremely scared in this format, though. Like, get a few poison. All of a sudden, they're going to start sitting back. Atraxa's Skitterfang. 2/2 enters with 3 oil. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may remove an oil counter. If you do, target creature you control gains flying, vigilance, death touch, or a lifelink until end of turn. That's pretty solid. I wonder if they give vigilance here. Just to keep another blocker. I could definitely see them doing that. But then again, they're going to play it. Oh, they didn't even use the ability, sure. I'm going to say they just have a 2/2 they can play afterwards anyways. There's some good hits. Let's take the Restoration because it can grab back Spellbomb and Proliferate on them. Let's just play out our 6/6 this turn. I still don't think I'm in great shape. Those middling turns where I was just bouncing and keep drawing lands did not do us any favors. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. Sure. So they are going to give it a counter of some sort, or ability of some sort, and they went with a lifelink. Oh, they are attacking with everything. Okay, I guess I'll just take it. I mean, this isn't very exciting, but I think it's my route to victory. (6/5) trample toxic 1. So we can restoration back one of the skull bombs. Proliferate up to 6. Bounce a creature for a little bit of tempo. I'm just still gonna go in. Yeah, this makes sense. I'm up to 6 poison myself. Yeah, they just have way too many creatures. I have nothing going on. Too bad. I don't think there's anything we can draw at this point. Nope, that'll do her. Alright, GG's. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think the draft went that badly. I mean, I think we could have been in black for sure during the drafting portion. It did seem like there were a lot of good black cards going around. So, probably supposed to be in some combination of like blue-black proliferate or like... yeah, blue-black proliferate, I would say. But I think there was a fun deck. I don't know if it was a good deck. Again, this is one of the first few drafts of the format, so maybe we come back and look at this deck and we're like, what the hell was I doing? This deck sucks. But we just got to get the practice in, so let's do that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. We'll go over the deck here since this is the beginning of the format. I was running 3 of these spell bombs, again, or skull bombs. There's 1 in each color. They all have the sacrifice ability to draw a card, and they all have some decent ability where you get to draw a card and do something else. Had a couple of these toxic 2 creatures, a couple serum snares for tempo and proliferation. And yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed this Phyrexia All Will Be One draft. There will be plenty more ahead as we get the full release of the format, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.